What's up guys, Piotr here, Action Nerd Central, and today I will talk about pistol upgrades. This question comes up a lot. So I bought my first gun, what should I be upgrading? And there are many resources online on YouTube, on Facebook groups, where people do part reviews, but they don't really tell you, at least not very often, what these parts actually do to the pistol and what kind of improvements should you be expecting. And just right off the bat, this is aimed at more beginner shooters who don't know much about this stuff. So first of all, I'd recommend that you watch this 1-minute video that I'll link in the description below that shows how a gas blowback pistol operates, so that you can get some context and you will be able to see the parts on the animation. And I'll also link two YouTube channels that I personally took away a lot from. So Knuckles GSM and Lazush Custom Shop. These guys have amazing tutorials. They break down the pistols, they do part reviews, and they show you how you should assemble and disassemble things. So if you want to learn about that, I highly recommend them, and there's a ton of information on their channel. However, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pistol, I will take it apart, and I will lay down all the parts on the table, and I will tell you which parts do what. And then you will be able to decide for yourself if you should upgrade, and if so, how to go about it. Also, one other disclaimer. I'll give you a piece of advice. Don't really start upgrading the gun immediately after you buy it. Run with it, shoot with it for a while and see what you are missing, because apart from some obvious tips I will give you, all the upgrades are should be based on personal preference, and you will only get that once you use the gun for a bit and find out what exactly are you missing. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to it. Okay guys, so on the table I've listed all of the parts, and I divided them into several categories, which I will go over one by one. So first of all, there is the accuracy and gas efficiency category, recoil management, slide cycle speed, general durability and bling or just looks, and then general quality of life improvements. So starting off with accuracy and gas efficiency, this combo of precision inner barrel hop-up unit plus the so-called I-key and hop-up rubber and bucking, together they simply improve your default gun accuracy. What you can notice here are some little modifications I made. So for example, Teflon tape here on the on where the inner barrel exits the hop-up unit is for better gas seal. Then I took a little O-ring to put it so that the barrel is more stable in the outer barrel. The I-key makes it, the purpose of the I-key is so that this little metal plate touches the surface of the hop-up rubber or bucking more evenly and on a larger surface, which means basically better hop capabilities. The bucking is inside here, and there is also, so the bucking basically and a better hop-up unit will allow you to hop heavier BBs, and heavier BBs in general have better accuracy and consistency in the shots. What you can notice here on the hop-up unit is I'm using the 1911 style, which has this little nub here. The nub goes inside the guide rope plug, so you need to have one of these so that they can just go like that. What this does is it makes it a more stable platform overall that doesn't move, so the guide rod will not move when you have this. So that combo is something that you should be getting together. usually, and yeah, it's like an overall accuracy performance package. The next thing that has to do with accuracy is sights. This, for example, is a standard rear sight that has, I think it was dynamic precision, this add-on here that exchanged the normal blacked out sights for fiber optics. The reason you would get this is because it will improve the way you target, it will improve your target acquisition. So basically the human eye detects contrasting colors very quickly. So what you want to achieve when exchanging sights is that it depends, it doesn't matter if it's green in the back and red in the front or the other way around, it's up to your personal preference. But the thing is that when you align them, they have a contrasting color to the surface that you will be shooting at. So in action air, you will most likely be shooting at cardboard targets or like white poppers. That's why, for example, maybe sights that have white dots are not exactly ideal, because then you will be putting them like in the line of fire to the white target, so there will be no contrast. So any type of fiber optic or contrasting sights will be fine. And this is like actually one of the upgrades that I would probably choose as the first one for action air. So fiber optic sights. Then there is this thing called sight tracker slide and barrel kit, which what happens is that on your outer barrel it will have a notch for the front sight, which means that if you have a fixed outer barrel, when the slide moves and cycles, it will keep the front sight in one place, which means it will not recoil, which is great for accuracy, and it's probably one of the things that I might get down the line. Then for gas efficiency, you're most likely looking at either doing something like this to the hop-up, or getting a different nozzle, or maybe stiffer or lighter hammer spring slash outlet valve for your mag. So this piece right here, if you get one that has a higher flow, then you will be less gas efficient, but your shots will have more power. So that's one of the things. Okay, then moving on to recoil management. So here actually what you are trying to achieve is to make the front of your gun heavier so that it recoils less. And this is something specific for action air. Probably for speedsoft or airsoft, you want to get like maybe an aluminum outer barrel. But for action air, if you want to bring the weight of the non-moving parts of the front of the gun up, then you want to have a steel one. And there's like a big difference between weight-wise between a stock plastic outer barrel and a steel one. So this is something that I would consider if you want to make the front of your gun heavier and get a better recoil management. Together with that, what also sits at the front of the gun is the steel guide rod. The one I have is made out of two parts that you screw onto, and this just allows for me to put these buffer tubes here at the back, which allow the slide to cycle faster. And yeah, since I have a hop-up unit with the nub, I have to actually put this part of the rod from the front and then screw it instead of putting it the normal way. However, the fact that it's steel and heavy again makes the front weight of the gun bigger, which means less recoil overall. Now, if you want to make the slide cycling faster, there are a couple of things you can do. So first of all, I know most people, when they get, for example, a Tokyo Marui gun that has a plastic slide like this one, they immediately want to switch it out to like an aluminum, which, yeah, they are nice design and everything, but the fact is that these types of slides are the lightest created. I mean, I think even the 3D printed slides are heavier. And what you want to achieve on this moving part that is the slide is that everything from the slide to all the internals that sit here and move with the slide are as light as possible. And that is together with the buffers that make the action shorter, will make for a snappier gun. So if you want to upgrade your slide cycle speed, you need to go for the lightest slide possible. That's why I think if you get a pistol right from the, if it has a plastic slide, run with it until it breaks, or unless you are super stoked to get a custom aluminum slide, in which case it will be also good, but it will be heavier, so you know. So together with the slide, the two simultaneous upgrades that you have to make, if you go for an aluminum slide at least, is to get a harder return spring. This one is an AIP 140% return spring. This allows the slide to move faster, together with the nozzle spring, which the nozzle is this part right here. So this has a spring in the blowback unit, and you want it to be a reinforced spring, preferably also 140%, or well, people do different combinations, but I think the general idea is that you want the return spring and the nozzle spring to be roughly about the same strength. The next part that moves with the slide is the guide rod plug. So you can get an aluminum one, because trust me, the stock ones are pretty heavy. It can have cutouts, which will even make the weight even smaller. This one is a 4.3 length plug, but of course, and this one is the 5.1, and it also has this little knob over here that makes it sit sit precisely against sorry, this way against the outer barrel, so that just makes it more stable and kind of consistent, I could say. So slides I've already talked about. Just showing you here a little custom thing. It's like sandpaper glued on. If you rack the slide, it just makes for a better grip. Plus, also if you hold, you can check where your thumb is and kind of make like a thumb stop with that. Now the short stroke kit and buffers. So these buffers, what you do is you put them on the steel guide rod. They shorten the way that the slide has to cycle. So this is the purpose of that. Also, things that make the whole slide lighter are the aluminum blowback unit. So this piece right here, the stock one is pretty heavy, but this one is only like 18 grams, which it travels with the slide. It's obviously quite important. So you want to use that. And also aluminum sights. These are AIPs. So front and back, they are also very lightweight and help with the slide cycling speed. Now, as far as general durability and bling, well, basically all of the lower parts of the pistol, which are sort of like they are here, the hammer, sear assembly, those are the things like safeties. That's basically what I'm talking about. So a steel hammer, like I exchanged here for a steel hammer. The one over there is a stock gold match hammer. This is basically just for looks, or if the other one breaks, I don't really see another reason to switch them. Then you have a hammer pad, which is useful when you get a steel hammer. It's this piece right here. So when the hammer strikes, you don't damage the blowback or the slide. Steel thumb safeties like these. Again, unless they break, you don't really need to exchange them. Steel mag catch. So this part, mine actually broke, or actually I broke the screw, so I had just replaced the whole thing. So the steel mag catch. Now, for durability, a critical upgrade I would recommend are aluminum mag plates. You can see how busted mine is. It's for multiple drops, but once you get a mag plate, you're no longer afraid to just release those mags on the ground and that just helps out with the way that your reload work. So other upgrades, adjustable trigger. I would recommend a flat trigger like this one for Action Air. It just, I noticed immediately that if I have a flat trigger instead of a curved one, when I grip the pistol, my finger lands exactly in the middle, which is what you want for accuracy, so that your shots don't go left or right. So I would recommend that type of trigger just for consistencies. Aluminum steel frame or steel frame and the grips. The frame, apart from it being more durable, you also get this part. So the rails, you get them longer all the way back, which makes the culture of the way that the slide moves much better. However, it's quite expensive, and it's one of those upgrades that I would probably recommend to get last. Same with the aluminum grip. It's basically for bling and I guess durability, because obviously aluminum would be better than plastic. However, for general quality of life improvements, if you can get, for example, a cow grip that has this part slightly, those grips have the cutout for your finger here, that it rides a bit higher, which makes your grip a bit higher, so more towards the axis of the gun, which improves slightly your recoil management and in turn accuracy. So this is something I would consider with a grip. You can get it, it's flat, then you can stipple it or put a grip tape on it like I have. This is the stock grip tape from Tokyo Marui's Gold Match package. So that's one thing. And then, steel grip safeties, I've talked about that. The grip tape for the pistol, it really helps. For me personally, I prefer the grip tape instead of stippling, but it just makes it all the more secure in your hand, and it just kind of feels good to me too. And then one of the critical upgrades I would recommend is a magwell. So obviously this helps with the reloads, and normally you would have to only have this this hole that you can have to fit the mag in. However, with a magwell, you can catch the mag on the sides, and then it will just slide naturally inside. So with a fast reload, you don't have to aim as precisely, and you can shave those milliseconds off your reloads. So actually, a magwell is one of the also upgrades I would go for from the beginning. So a magwell, better sights for target acquisition, and mag plates for dropping mags and faster reloads that you are not afraid of is probably the best. So that's pretty much it. As you saw, there are many paths to take. I gave you a lot of information. Now go take your pistol, run with it, and check what you want and what you are missing. If I were to just do a TLDR of the whole video, for starters, once you get the pistol, I would definitely go with magazine base plates, because you will not be afraid to drop them anymore, and that's very important if you don't think about it. I would definitely change sights if you don't have if you have just plain iron sights. I would change them to fiber optics or some other combination. You definitely want to get a magwell for helping out with reloads, and other than that, run it until it breaks or until you find out exactly what you need. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.